Listen, rejection is not something new for us writers. It's a universal experience for everyone who has ever written, created, or did something artistic. No matter how successful they are, they have still experienced the rejection. Believe it or not, even the most celebrated writers have been told no countless times before breaking through. What separates them is not just talent, but their persistence and resilience in the face of that rejection. It's how they took feedback, adapted, and kept moving forward that made the difference. So, how can you embrace rejection as a tool for growth and learn from it to sharpen your skills and push your writing to new heights? That's basically what I'm going to answer today and show you how rejection doesn't have to end the journey, but it fuels it. All right. Facing rejection, lessons every writer should know. Rejection in the writing world isn't just about hearing no from an agent or publisher. It's an opportunity to gain valuable perspective. Often, rejection provides a chance to see your work through someone else's eyes, really. While it can be tough to hear, of course, feedback from industry professionals or even critique partners can offer insights you might have missed. Maybe there's an issue with pacing, character development, or structure that can be important and improved. Now, these moments of rejection allow you to step back, reassess, and come back stronger. It's not about the ego, it's about taking in the valuable resource of wisdom, even if you don't agree with it. There's no harm in listening. Remember also, if somebody says, I don't like it or I'm going to have to pass, that's no judgment on you. That's their opinion of their presentation of it. That's just their thoughts. Not everyone likes the color red. It happens. But if someone says, I hate red, I like this guy, I'm not going to be offended. It doesn't bother me. It's important to remember that rejection is not a judgment on your talent or your potential for that talent. Writing is subjective, and what doesn't connect with one person may deeply connect with another. Many well-known authors faced countless rejections before finding the right match. This subjectivity in the industry reminds us that a rejection isn't a reflection of failure, it's part of the process. By shifting your mindset and seeing rejection as a stepping stone toward growth, you can and will build resilience and also improve your craft. Ultimately, rejection is a tool for growth. So here's 3 steps to turning rejection around. Step 1, actively reframing rejection. Instead of seeing rejection as failure, view it as an opportunity for improvement. After receiving said rejection, don't simply set it aside. Take time to process the feedback, even if it's difficult to hear. Right? So, for example, if you submit a manuscript and receive a form rejection letter, rather than feeling defeated, remind yourself that rejection is a normal part of the process. If you receive personalized feedback, which is great, by the way, look at it as a tool for growth. They don't have to tell you what didn't work, but if they do, take a moment. You don't have to change anything. It doesn't hurt to evaluate or reassess. It doesn't destroy anything that you've created. Now, if you by reassessing and evaluating or reevaluating, you decide to change it, you're still the writer. You're still making the choice to change it. You're still in control. They're not telling you the exact words to use. You're still the master of the statue. What does that mean? You're the one chipping away at it, right? So just sit back and go, they said pacing. Let me focus on the pacing, see what they think. The other thing is look for patterns in feedback. This is invaluable, this part. If you've been rejected multiple times, analyze that feedback to identify basically the common themes that are happening, the common rejections, the common motifs. When the same type of feedback comes up, whether it's about pacing, character development, or plot structure, that's a clear signal that there's an area for improvement. Because what's that saying? The first time someone calls you a duck and you reject it. The second time they call you a duck, you don't believe him. The third time, you might be a little quacky. Uh, Example, you notice several agents mention that the beginning of your manuscript is slow. Well, that becomes a pattern worth investigating. So it's your job to basically dissect that section and consider how you can rearrange it or adjust it. Reach out for insight. Meow, 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 meow. After rejection, reach out to trusted peers or mentors to get additional perspective. This leads me to tell you your circle of influence. They're not there to influence a career, they're there to influence better, stronger habits. You should always be surrounded by people you can trust and believe in. That's why, if you're a writer, find writers, because writers will help writers, and they all have different perspectives on the process. You want to share your feedback not only with other writers and mentors, but you want them to share their insight with you. So this will help you understand it. Okay. Taking action. Taking action one. One is 3 taking actions. Rejection, a reflection journal. And you don't necessarily have to write everything down, but as an objective approach, reflection on the rejection is part of the process. For every rejection you receive, it's important to write down your immediate feelings or thoughts about it. At minimum, at least go through it in your head. Talk about it with yourself. Really analyze it. You're a writer, so maybe it'll help to kind of get those thoughts out. It's just practice anyway. And this what you write down can include your frustrations, your doubts, even your hopes, or your disconnection to the advice. And then what you do is you take 24 hours to let it stew. Stew. Okay. And then you look for actionable takeaway from that rejection. After 24 hours, you say, all right, what can I do? So if the feedback is highlights an issue like character development or pacing is usually a big thing. Focus on that area in your next draft. For example, if multiple rejections mention that your protagonist is hard to connect with, set a goal to add more emotional depth and relatability. If you've ever seen my outlining videos, or if you've ever seen like my editing or processing videos, uh, I have a thing where I have the 27 plot point outline on the sheet, which is available in the folder for free. And then I have like a notes section. But what I do is as I work through the thing, I write down notes that I need to adjust or add. If something comes up, I write the note down within that chapter because I have my chapters broken down, right? And that allows me, as I go back to do the revisions, to add or subtract things that are necessary. Another thing that you should be doing is setting new goals based on that feedback. So after reviewing the rejection feedback, set new writing goals for yourself, or even milestones that will address those critiques. So if I'm hearing things about my pacing, I'm going to go through and reevaluate the chapters, and then leave notes for myself on my worksheet that basically tells me, all right, the pacing needs to be adjusted here. I linger too much on internal stuff, or I don't spend enough. I spend too much. I go too quick. There's too much happening too fast. I need to slow it down a little bit. Or I might say to myself, what could I cut? What could I keep? What is important? A really great pacing tool. And by the way, obviously it could be character development, but a great pacing tool is, am I starting in the middle of the scene? Am I starting too early? Am I starting too late? Those are important things to keep in mind. And you just write that down as notes. And then create a next step plan, and which is basically taking your notes and then basically going, all right, today I'm going to work on pacing. Tomorrow I'm going to work on character. Maybe you go, you know what? I'm going to go through my notes and start adding, because I do this too. I'll add red notes to my chapters. So I'll take the notes I have on my worksheet and then I start adding those to my chapters, and I start going through and I go, all right, here's where I could add some pacing issues. I could go a little deeper with the character. Maybe I could clarify this thing. Oh, I noticed I didn't challenge somebody here. So those are things that are very important. Okay. This was a quick video. Final thoughts. Rejection is inevitable, but how you handle it is what sets you apart as a writer. Every successful author has faced rejection, often countless times. But the key to their success wasn't avoiding rejection, it was their persistence in the face of it. Writing careers are built on resilience, the ability to take each setback, analyze it, and turn it into an opportunity for said growth. Rejection doesn't define your potential, your response to it does. A true writer's journey isn't about getting it right the first time, but about revising, adapting, and constantly and consistently improving. Each rejection is an invitation to go deeper, refine your skills, and approach your craft with fresh eyes. Because all great writing is rewriting, and every great writer has a great editor. Because the most important lesson to take away is that rejection is a stepping stone, not a roadblock. It's part of the process of becoming a writer. Who writes? Those who continue moving forward, who revise their manuscripts, refine their characters, and adapt their stories are the ones who succeed in the long run. Greatness doesn't mean you have to do it in one shot. Some things take work. Look at the Spider-Man screenplay, 20 years. Look at Good Will Hunting. Look at all the screenwriting, all the scripts that won Golden Globes, that won Oscars. Look at books, top selling books. You think those books were first drafts? No, never. Next video, writing advice that will focus on the importance of your writing communities and finding people and why it matters in connecting with them. Question: what's one rejection you faced that, looking back, actually helped you grow as a writer? Share your experience in the comments and let us know so we can learn from one another. Yeah. Boom. Like what you saw today, maybe you've watched a couple videos and you haven't done so already, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out. That's it. That's it. We're done. See you next time. Keep developing the right mindset.